Attitude Era start.
We have a new champion.
And Punk gets personal. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX, the best wrestling channel you've never heard of. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And we begin with the Vision, who are already down at ringside. Heyman wants to talk about Seth and that he stole Logan Paul's WrestleMania moment. Heyman adds that the next time Seth's in the ring, they, the Vision, are going to stomp him out. Theory gets on the mic and doesn't really add much before Paul gets on the mic and calls Seth a scumbag. He calls out Rollins, but gets Adam Pearce instead. He asks them to leave the ring, but before they can, multiple masked men appear. Security chase away one, with Paul chasing another. Theory then runs after one more, which leaves Heyman alone. Another masked man makes his way down the rampway, who Heyman pleads with, but it's the one behind him who he should have had his eye on. This one gets on the apron, removes his mask, and reveals himself to be Seth freaking Rollins. Heyman never turns around and gets struck by a chair before eating the mat from a stomp. Seth then heads off through the crowd just as we break. When we come back, we see a bloodied Paul Heyman being helped away towards the backstage area by EMTs.
As Heyman's loaded into the ambulance, Logan and Theory tell him he'll be alright. Logan then heads off with a car then pulling up. Theory thinks it's Paul so they can follow the ambulance, so Theory opens the door to get in, only to get hit. Jimmy Uso then emerges from the vehicle and attacks Theory. After laying Theory out, Jimmy heads towards the ambulance, where it's revealed that LA Knight is the driver.
Yeah!
Must be moonlighting. Knight says Heyman will get the help he needs before driving off into the night.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. It is Attitude Era.
Yeah.
That is, you can imagine Undertaker in something.
Yeah.
I've seen, or Austin in something.
Austin definitely the one driving.
Just, yeah, Attitude Era all over it. Love it. If you don't like it, well, I'm not bothered. I loved it. First up, Gunther versus Dragon Lee. Lee jumps Gunther as he heads down the rampway, but when we come back from the break, well, the match is well underway. We see the WWE 2K26 wrestler ratings in the corner at one point. Lee 79, Gunther 93. 93 already? It makes you wonder what Taker, Cena and Stone Cold are on.
Yeah.
I mean, Triple H is clearly going to be on 110. Anyway, back to the match. Gunther tries to remove Lee's mask a few times, then powerbombs him twice before covering. When he does cover, he stops the count at 2 to inflict more damage.
Gunther then powerbombs Lee on the apron before doing the same on the announcer's desk. The ref starts to count, but Gunther heads back out to hit another powerbomb, but Lee reverses it into a sunset flip. Lee then mounts a comeback and hits Operation Lee, with Gunther just about making the count out on 9. Back in the ring, Gunther's able to lock in the sleeper and pull off Lee's mask. Lee then taps out, giving the victory to the Austrian.
Backstage, we see Asuka shouting at Kairi, Sane, and then walking off. AJ Lee then asking if she's okay. Sane doesn't say anything, but then gets called away, or rather shouted away, by Asuka.
The Vision head out again, with Paul telling the crowd they should show some respect to Heyman. He adds that they're good guys, with Paul saying Theory will be taking on a Jimmy Uso later. Just booking their own matches now.
Forget Adam Pearce, we're going to book our own matches. Out next, AJ Lee. She pretty much thanks the crowd for believing in her, talks about her match with Lynch at Elimination Chamber, and then throws down the gauntlet to the ladies. Her words, not mine, in the back. So pretty much an open challenge, which, if she's sticking around, do not have a problem with it whatsoever. Yeah. I like that. I don't want to just to have it and then just disappear.
We see a clip from earlier in the day backstage with El Grande Americano telling Penta that if he beats Dom for the Intercontinental title, then he gets first shot. The other El Grande Americano then turns up with Rayo and Bravo. After a dispute, El Grande challenges one of the lackeys, with that match being next.
So, El Grande Americano versus Rayo. Rayo with the rest of the Americanos, of course. Just before the match, we have a vignette from Liv Morgan. She says Stephanie Vaquer tried to embarrass her and then belittles Vaquer by saying she got rejected by WWE when she first tried out, whereas Morgan was signed at 20. Morgan admits she is privileged, adding at WrestleMania, Vaquer will be stepping into the ring with the Liv Morgan. And I think she's going to win.
Yeah. Back to the match, El Grande versus Rayo. It's a back and forth affair until the Americanos get on the apron and distract El Grande, allowing Rayo to land a headbutt and cover for 2. El Grande then tries to remove El Grande's mask after the ref got distracted, with El Grande then returning to the ring, German suplexing Rayo and getting the 1-2-3. Confused? That's the idea.
We hear from Penta, who of course says he'll beat Dominik Mysterio in their match later. We also hear from Natty, who's sorry she allowed Maxine to train in the dungeon, and then calls her a bimbo.
We see Rusev next on the announcer's desk, and he calls out Oba Femi, with Femi answering. Femi gets in the ring and tells Rusev to get in, which Rusev does. The two square up and then exchange blows. Rusev does get the upper hand, fleetingly, but Oba turns it around and sends the Bulgarian over the top rope. Definitely to be continued.
I wonder if they'll take this to Mania.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It is a long way off, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I won't mind.
Backstage, Bayley says she feels stuck to Lyra Valkyria, with Lyra telling Bayley to challenge AJ Lee. Bayley then tells Lyra she should also challenge her, so the pair go to see Adam Pearce. As they approach his door, out walks Io Sky, looking glum, with Bayley and Lyra then entering Pearce's office.
Up next, Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. More 2K26 stats flash up, with Jimmy on 86 and Theory on 82.
They are high.
They are. Theory takes it to Jimmy, but Jimmy turns it around when the fight goes to the outside. Big Jim then looks to come off the top rope and into Theory, who's on the announcer's desk. But before he can, Logan Paul gets in the ring,
Surprise, surprise.
with Jimmy then aiming his attack at him instead.
After landing on Paul, Theory strikes again, with Logan then joining in. The ref then calls for the bell, with the match ending. As the Vision beats on Jimmy, Jay's music hits, with the Vision looking up the rampway. Only Jay comes from behind with crutches. Not that he seems to need them though, as he passes one to Jimmy, with the twins then hitting each of the Vision with one crutch each, before sending Paul over the top rope and then hitting Theory with a 1D.
Backstage, we see Adam Pearce on the phone to Nick Aldis when Danhausen appears. He has a list of demands. A few include being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year
Short career.
and having his face on the WWE trucks. It's then that Judgment Day walk past. Danhausen knows Dom and Balor, but not JD,
Fair play.
which JD doesn't take kindly to. Danhausen then curses Dom and vanishes before our very eyes.
We hear from Javon Evans next, who says he's got next on the Intercontinental title, and then Jackie Redmond asks Rhea Ripley how she feels facing Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Rhea tells us that Io has been her best friend, which is not the answer we're looking for, with Io then saying Rhea showed why Mommy is always on top to go handle her business and win at WrestleMania. Ripley then says she'll show up at SmackDown to see Cargill face to face. So it's all going to kick off.
Yes. So, to the last match of the night and the main event of the evening. Penta versus Dominik Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Balor and JD are at ringside. More 2K26 ratings flash up at the start, with Penta on 84 and Dom on 87.
87
Yeah.
for Dominik Mysterio. 3 off 90. Ridiculous.
The pair exchange 2 count covers, with Dom then trying and failing to land the 3 amigos. Dom then DDTs Penta on the apron and gets a 2 count cover.
The fight then heads into the timekeeper's area as we break. But coming back, we get the corner headstand, double foot to gut in the corner, I've already said, followed by a 2 count cover from Penta. A backstabber nets Penta another 2, with Dom then countering a Mexican destroyer into a Michinoku driver and getting another 2 count. We then get a 619, with Dom following up with a splash, only it's countered with Penta then hitting the sacrifice, the Penta driver and cover.
Dom manages to kick out on 2.5, with Penta then injuring his shoulder on the ring post. While the ref's dealing with him, Dom asks JD to get him the bell hammer. As JD heads back to Dom, Balor interjects and stops him, citing Dom said he wants to do it by himself.
See, I don't know when he said this.
I don't think he did. Anyway, while they argue on the outside, Penta dives out at the pier, gets back in the ring and sets up for the Mexican destroyer once again.
Dom drop toe holds him though and sets up for another 619. Penta ducks it though, hits a Mexican destroyer and covers the dirty one the 1, 2, 3. Penta has just become the new Intercontinental Champion.
Good. We see some Elimination Chamber post-show footage next, with Nick Aldis, who's had enough, telling Drew McIntyre he'll be defending his title against Cody Rhodes on SmackDown.
I can't see Rhodes winning that. Not so close to Mania. If Drew lost that, it'd be absolute...
seething.
Oh, wow. He'd go nuclear. We finish with Roman Reigns and CM Punk having a chinwag in the middle of the ring. Punk lands a stinger saying he has to carry Reigns to WrestleMania because he's a no-show, with Punk having to essentially build the match alone. He's not wrong there. Reigns fires back that the only reason he was brought back was to entertain the 30 to 40-year-old virgins that live with their mom and dad. Yes, he's talking to you. And to sell a few t-shirts. Being a champion is above his pay grade, and Reigns can't trust him. Reigns adds that they, presumably the higher-ups, can't wait to tell him when Punk's being bitching. Can we say that? And that he's not CM Punk to him, he's just a punk-ass bitch.
Whoa.
Can we say that?
No idea. Reigns tells Punk when he wins the title, he's going to send him to NXT to teach the next generation, where they'll get sent to him so he can smash each and every one of them. Reigns looks to exit, but Punk stops him. Punk says Reigns is all alone and that he runs things here. Punk ain't bothered that Reigns hates him, and he's now not just going to beat him at WrestleMania, but bury him. And bury him next to his father.
Ooh, that's it.
Punk then leaves the ring with Raw going off the air. Savage.
Yeah, he was. I do like that Punk said he's got to carry them.
Yeah.
Because there is a bit of truth in that.
Yeah.
Reigns ain't going to turn up.
Yeah.
And Punk is going to have to try and carry that fight and build that fight alone. So he's going to come out every week, every other week, and just keep saying, I'm going to beat your ass.
Exactly. With Reigns nowhere to be
Reigns
seen.
nowhere to be seen. And that is the problem.
He might show up one more time.
I'm not a fan of either. I'm never a fan of Reigns. I'm not a fan of Punk because of his backstage shenanigans. I don't like that. But I do want Punk to win. And then hopefully Reigns will just go do some films. You've had your thing. You're not going to show up. If you're not going to show up, I don't want you there.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. He shouldn't hold the title if he's not showing up.
Well, he might do if he does win, but brilliant, loved it. Yeah. Excellent. I mean, brilliant. Anyway, now for Michael's moment of the night. This could be a match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, quirky, different, just something that catches my eye. Obviously, it has to wait until the end because if I do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler. So, Michael's moment of the night is the Attitude Era start. Yeah, you may not remember it. Yeah, you may not have liked that area. But I did, you did, we did, and there's millions of other people that also did. It was just, I just loved it. It was enjoyable. Night, driving off in the ambulance. Jey just getting out of the car and boosh. Boosh in theory, you didn't know who it was. Like, why theory just got smacked up? Oh, it's Jimmy Uso. It was a bit like the SmackDown from last week where all the chamber entrance came out. This was just as busy. And this is what it needs to be.
Yeah.
That's how it's got to be. I don't mind the promo at the start, but this is how it's got to be.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Now, if you wish to agree,
you won't disagree,
or have any other thoughts or views that you'd like to share with us, then please feel free to leave them in that comment section just down below. Also, don't forget to go out and check out our Musings video with thoughts and opinions on the last week of WWE, because a new one drops every Wednesday.
As always, thank you for watching.
And we'll see you Wednesday for a look at this past week in WWE, and then Saturday for a look at SmackDown.